Hello Internet, I'm Jackie Fox, and today let's talk about how to get through the Shiva Very Hard. Now I'm going to be doing this in Very Hard 2, which is the hardest possible stage. As you can see, I am far below the recommended level for this, but I'm going to show you the things that I'm using in this fight. I've got breaks, I've got heals. Because I don't have heals, I'm not healing with materia. If you are, or if you're not a healer, you should be using healing Asuna fog, because fog is a very powerful effect that this build actually has no way of dealing with. I have to be dependent on other people, hopefully other DPSs bringing that to supplement their own healing just in case I'm not there. But if I am there, I've also got Defaith, which can break down and make even the Very Hard 2 Shiva, well, I mean, we can't completely defang her in every situation because sometimes she throws up that 5 right before Diamond Dust, and there's just no time to cast Defaith as many times as I would need to. And potentially there are other characters that can break magic down faster. I'm thinking about, just Upper Shot on Tifa right now, but this is who I'm using. She's got heals. If you do have Tifa and Lifeguard Wraps, you could make kind of a similar team to this, but you're also going to want Ifrit, and you're probably going to want Hellfire, but just summon damage in general in fire is good enough. So if you're making a list here, you want some healing. If you are a DPS, you want to bring Healing Asuna Fog. That'll also deal with some status ailments. You want to be able to break magic attacks, so Defaith is potentially a thing that you're going to want here. But there are also ways of doing that even better with skills. You want to have some sort of defensive breaks as well, not necessarily as huge a priority as everything else, but that's kind of the build of Aerith that I like, so that's what I'm bringing. And in addition to that, another thing that I'm not bringing that you should bring with you, or that you could bring with you if you have a slot for it, is Fire Breach. Fire Breach is also pretty important. So in addition to that, you want to be able to break the Circle Sigil, so you want to be bringing Ruinra Circle or Ruinra Blow Circle. And of course, in addition to that, you want some form of fire damage, which could come from your abilities on your weapons, depending on who you're using, or if you're going the Healer Relic. I don't think Matt or maybe Tifa, or I don't think any of the healers have strong single target fire attacks, so you're probably going to be bringing Fira or Fira Blow. But also, strong fire attacks aren't a bad thing, and you can probably get more ice resistance, especially if you competed in Ifrit co-op. You can probably get more ice resistance going on with either Zac or Glenn, because both Zac and Glenn are going to be able to hold either in their main hand and get a fire skill, or in their secondary hand, still getting a fire skill, but maybe allowing a stronger weapon to be used. Zac is going to come with his own breaks too, so Zac is a great way to go if you want to add some breaking in. Depending on who you're trying to match with and everything, you could bring either the Cutlass or the Arc Sword. Probably the Cutlass, but potentially the Arc Sword as well. I see a lot of Aeriths, just because this boss has the potential for a lot of big damage, especially if you aren't bringing Defaith. Defaith can be really important for that. So looking at this group, it looks like their Aerith can break fire. So we have our Fire Breaker. I don't think I saw any way to heal Fog, so Fog is going to be a problem in this fight. But here's another run. If you'll look at Glenn's equipment, he both has the Healing Asuna Fog and Fire Breach. So between him and my Aerith, we have pretty much everything you need to deal with this fight. So I'm going to watch this one all the way through with you, and then show you another one to explain specifically why Defaith can be a real game changer here, and something that can be the difference between winning or losing this fight. Essentially, I'm trying to carry people as much as I can here, so I'm thinking about the things that are necessary for this fight, trying to bring as many of them so that I can carry as much as possible. And my particular carry focus is two-pronged. I want to break the boss down as much as I can so that DPS can do their job faster, so that we're not lingering in modes and stuff, but also secondarily, I'm trying to reduce damage and also heal, keep us safe in both regards. I'm reducing damage by reducing the stacks of magic attack up. Usually throughout the rest of the fight, as long as magic attack is neutral for Shiva, she's not that scary. She can pump out some damage, and her skills can be damaging as well, but usually it's something you can easily AoE heal back from. In fact, healer may not be necessary for this fight, but I find it having redundant healing, having AoE healing is really helpful depending on who you get matched with. So you can see here that we're trying to keep, or at least I'm trying to keep, like 2 to 3 different breaks on the boss at all times, but I'm also kind of alternating around and through, and we're starting to build up all of our gauges pretty highly. Now the Ice Age, once it ends, you will get an opportunity to do a lot of damage to Shiva. She's going to enter an incredibly broken state where your damage is going to get ramped up incredibly. So one of the things that I'm trying to do here is to slightly prolong the Ice Age by not using my fire skills. Even if they do, you really have to kind of zone into like all 3 of you are doing this kind of thing at the same time before you can really get through the Ice Age this quickly. So now I have my summon active, and now she's in the broken state. Now, ideally, you would want to wait for your other partners to be able to join in with you so that you can get the maximum bonus and modifier here. However, I was afraid that they wouldn't make it to their summons because I pulled the trigger a little bit early. So I'm going to go ahead and launch with mine, and they can get theirs up and active when they're available. He just got, our second player just got theirs up, so we're getting our second Hellfire. And these would be doing more damage if they landed together, but again, I couldn't be certain that they would get it up or remember to use it in time, and I didn't want to lose the window for my own damage because I was very intentionally getting there on time for myself. I should have paid more attention to where everybody else was as well and tried to allow them a little bit extra time to catch up by delaying some more of my fire spells a bit and maybe working on breaking instead. And that's the thing I like about her as a breaker. You have the O's to get you through this phase. You have that break. You have the fire to get you through the Ice Age. That is necessary. Coming into this, even if you have a great DPS but you don't have fire, if you can't get through the Ice Age, you're not going to be able to beat this boss. But you want to get through the Ice Age at a specific time. There's also a lot of people who think that during that interrupt state is the time that you just launch in with your espers, and it is not. You want to do this again directly after the Ice Age. The interrupt state, you are not really getting any big bonuses in the same way that she's absolutely crippled defensively in the stun state that comes after this Ice Age. So we're all getting pretty close to having an evocation. Glenn held on to his evocation through this whole time. He's been waiting very patiently for us to get through this Ice Age. If you're thinking that fire damage from the Esper will actually reduce the Ice Age counter, I tried that before. I don't want to say definitively that it won't, but it certainly didn't work for me, so. Here we go, time to get it off. Can we get the third one in there? Oh, Glenn still didn't get it, but this is also because Glenn is being smart. We haven't actually entered the broken state yet. No, we have. No, we waited, I think, to the right time. Yeah. And with Glenn, we could have powered straight through that. And also, we're kind of on the lower end of the damage that I've seen for Hellfire for some of these runs, especially if you're running a DPS. These are some of the weaker damage units. They just happen to have swords that are very specifically catered for this fight, both in reducing the amount of ice damage that they're taking, but also giving them a handy fire skill to cast so that they don't necessarily have to use a materia slot to do that. It also makes them a little bit slower, so they definitely need support to get through an Ice Age, as if they aren't running like fire skills on materia, they're going to be casting those very slowly. Now we got some recipes for that last one, so let me take a look at my weapons for this. I haven't built them up a lot, it is still day one, and I didn't really farm Shiva much before this. But the Shiva cannon is getting boosted up. I'm getting it a lot faster than Shiva's sword, but a lot of that has come pretty recently. Like during the making of this video, some of it. And, you know, very hard can be really rewarding in that way, especially very hard 2. And if you can't do that, I mean, you could do very hard 1. I think during the Ifrit event, I managed to basically max out Ifrit, get a lot of my stuff. I think I'm missing 4 overboosts. I'm sorry, 6 or 7 overboosts on the axe, and maybe like 2 on the sword. The axe was never something I actually grinded for in the normal events. I only got that stuff during co-op, really. So let's give it one more shot just to look at another intro party and see if they're kind of covering. Because really, I've fallen into this exact pattern of like materia and abilities because people are more often going to bring either the healing fog or they're going to bring a fire break. So there's 2 healing fogs here. Oop, 1 healing fog now. Unfortunately, no fire break out of this whole team. And I don't see people running Defaith very often either. Finally found one that has all of the things that I need. So let's give them a look. It looks like everybody is going to have a healing fog, which is good as that's a single target ability and we do get hit by fog as a party. But also there's going to be a fire break here as well. So I can focus on breaking magical defense, magical attack, and physical defense. And then also focus on breaking through either into interrupts or breaking through the Ice Age when it's relevant. But it's important that you know, as a player, when it's relevant to break through the Ice Age. Because ideally, if you can deal with the damage, and I can, as a breaker, keep that damage very low, or as low as possible for a long time, we can really ride out this Ice Age for quite some time. Attacks like this are going to be damaging, but characters with high magical defense and characters with high ice resistance can deal with a lot of Shiva stuff really easily. So what I'm doing here with Aerith a lot of times is that I'm prolonging the Ice Age for a bit. But in this one I actually think I want to power through here. I got pretty good breaks in, we've got to the end of the Ice Age. Let's pummel with some regular damage for here. No one has their summons active yet, that's the big damage draw of this fight. So unfortunately I'm not going to get that, but I am going to use that stun phase to get some healing in. Gone a little bit late on that. So now we're entering a second Ice Age, and this is the one that will probably be active by the end of. So what I want to do is first enter the interrupt state. But I also don't necessarily want to enter it too fast because I've got 5 stacks of magic attack here, and I'm going to whittle those down. And since I'm in offense mode, this is going to be breaking 1 rune every time, so even if everybody else is just throwing fire or whatever, as long as we hit a certain threshold at certain points, we can easily make it through there with just Defaith. I'm using all this extra ATB also to cast Defaith as many times as I can to finally have broken through all 5 stacks. So the Ice Age still isn't over, but it's pretty damn close, so let's end it. We've all got our summons ready. We have broken the boss's magic fully, so let's get our summons going. Come on, Zach. Oh, you had such a good build. I thought you would be paying a little bit more attention. Oh well. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf likes to say. Sing, I guess, as Meatloaf likes to sing. And woo, boy, look at that damage. Big Ifrit boy damage. Let's get some more of that in there. Bang, bang, bang. Ooh! I've seen this get over 100 when all 3 of us get in there. Come on. Come on, Troll. You can still throw that Ifrit. You can still end this fight here, buddy. But, you know, while she's in this broken state, I'm going to try to lay on as much fire as possible. And still, even though that fire barrier's up, let's just end this fight. Kill it with fire. But as you can see, diamond dust is building up, and diamond dust is building up without any of the magic stacks that usually come with it. And this is what makes diamond dust dangerous. And with full set of magic stacks, I've seen, even with defenses up, even with the defend setting activated, I've seen diamond dust just wreck people for over 10,000. So you really have to keep your D-Faith game strong to be able to survive a diamond dust, and this is what this has enabled us to do. It still hit us like a ton of bricks, and it's still going to require some healing, but also some damage. We just need to end this fight. It's gone on a little bit too long at this point that we even got to diamond dust, but some fights go that way. You never know exactly who you're going to be matched with. Some fights will get there, and that's why I'm bringing the D-Faith just as an insurance policy, and you just got to see that insurance policy in action. So, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe so you get more of this stuff if you're playing Ever Crisis along with me, and I hope you are. It's a pretty fun game. I wish there were more like ways to compete that weren't score attacks and stuff. Maybe like a live PvP element would be cool, but I think that about a lot of games that don't have something like that. Anyways, while you're working your way down there to like, subscribe, ring the bell, do whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you feel joy. There's also a link in the description, linktree.JackieFox or /JackieFox. And that is going to lead to all of the other Jackie Fox on the internet. Not all the other Jackie Foxes, but all the other little remnants of me that I've scattered on every corner of the World Wide Web, like a compulsively hoarding spider. So, with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.